Welcome to another episode of Big Belt Theory. I'm your host, Maul.
I'm Kurt.
We'll be talking about the WWE title picture, rivalries, and anything that really catches our attention to our own speculation.
All right, so today, is Drew McIntyre the best face in WWE right now?
Quick answer, absolutely. I mean, we know who the face of the company is. That's Raw. And right now, we got over on the Raw side, Drew is running that whole situation. I wasn't checking for Sheamus at all, but this brawler Sheamus, this Celtic Warrior Sheamus, the little bear brawler Sheamus versus this new Drew McIntyre throwing the sword in, I think that is a very good story. And they tell me something, I'm not going to say bigger than the WWE picture, but it's going to hold my attention without Drew having to be in the main event. What do you think about it?
I would agree to an extent, but ultimately, I think you're wrong here. Drew McIntyre definitely is a very good face. And right now, that thing with Sheamus, I get it. He wear like a fedora, and he got some pull-up straps with the white beater on it, tape on his hand. So he's selling that character. They doing that very well. But you also got to realize we have other faces in the company. I mean, Owens right now, come on. Like him versus Roman Reigns escalated very high. Even Daniel Bryan right now, very high as well. So ultimately, I don't think Drew is the best face, but he is definitely top 3. Just because he's not the only person who can sell me a beat without a title. I think Kevin Owens at this point. We've seen Daniel Bryan do that infinite amount of times. So no, Drew is not the best face, but he is definitely up there right now.
I will say, we don't know. I'm going to say he the best. You say he not. But to add a little bit more to I think he the best because we don't know what he could do without the belt. As soon as he got the belt, that skyrocketed him. And ever since he got that belt, every other pay-per-view, if not every pay-per-view, don't have that belt, he's versing for that belt. So this is the first time we get to see him without the belt in his hands and see what that's actually going to take him at. So we're going to have to find out. I'm going to go ahead and claim Drew's definitely the face, though. If it comes to the face, he is the face. You get me?
What about the Hurt Business? You think Shelton Benjamin and my boy Prime Alexander can hold them belts till WrestleMania?
Man, big fan of Hurt Business. I really want to see them go down as one of the best factions that ever do it. I don't know. They have my attention on Bobby being the big guy, taking the WWE champion is his time. That's my attention with Bobby. And with Cedric and Shelton, my attention is based on them two fighting and snickering all the time and always looking like they're about to lose. But just like they just showed me last week, somehow pulling out a win. That don't make sense. I don't know where they're going with it. I definitely had them losing 2-1 with Braun. He was just going to hold both belts because that's how bad they treat as far as tag team go, bro. The Hurt Business. So the fact that they didn't lose, I don't know. I'm going to say Bobby Lashley wins at Fastlane, then there's no doubt in my mind that the Hurt Business retains. But if Bobby Lashley loses for some reason, 2 ways to go. Shelton and Cedric Alexander lose, and then they blame each other. That starts the whole we about to break up. Or they win, they start trying to think about branching off. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be Bobby, but we out here, we holding the championship. We retained it. I didn't say he lost fair when he lost U.S. championship, but he lost. You see what I'm saying? And then when it was time for him to defend his belt, he lost. So either they all 3 of them losing, or they gonna like rebel. Like maybe we should be the ones being pushed, not him. Because when push come to shove, we holding the Hurt Business down. What you think about it?
Me personally predicted that my boy Alexander was somehow getting that Money in the Bank match to come out with that. Is that gonna happen? Who knows? That's what I want to see. That was my prediction. I actually think they do hold the belt till WrestleMania, and we just have them fight New Day or somebody like that, and you already know they not walking out team champions if they face the New Day.
But that could also push them into a real tag team light because if that could be the New Day, and neither of us see this. But if they beat somebody like the New Day, now I'm throwing some respect on their name. Because Street Profits was okay until they beat the New Day, and I was like, okay, they're a real freaking tag team. So like, if you get past, that's the standard. If you beat them one good time, you're now allowed to call yourself a tag team in today's WWE. So if that's the ultimate WrestleMania match, that's going whichever way that match go. If they sell it good enough to get enough time, that can be the next legitimate tag team on Raw.
I agree. If they somehow go into WrestleMania and beat a tag team like New Day, they would be probably the most dominant tag team on Raw outside of New Day.
Yeah.
Like there would be a question just by them beating them 2 times. It would be crazy. Bobby Lashley, who's his WrestleMania opponent?
Man. Oh, before I answer this, it's very, very important that I say that's the second time I was right about Bobby Lashley, yo.
True.
I'm telling you, man. I be talking to vets, so you just don't know her, bro. I be like, bro, what's up on game? You know what I mean? And he be like, I got you. I got the Bobby angle. I think.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I think the way to move Bobby in this situation, you got two ways of doing this. One, you can actually push him as the champion. We wouldn't mind it, but we don't expect it. You see what I'm saying? We happy to see that his grind got him to this point, but we didn't expect his grind to get him to this point. You feel what I'm saying? So
Right.
if he holds the belt, either him and MVP take off and he becomes a megastar, or he rebrand pretty much the Hurt Business and they actually start running it. Because they come out of WrestleMania with the tag team, Bobby Lashley come out of WrestleMania with the WWE to make us think like they're a real force. Because when Evolution was out, that's my number one faction. You know what I mean? I know the 4 Horsemen, but that wasn't my time. So like, they had every single one of them had a presence. You see what I'm saying? If you fight anybody from that faction, you get mid-high card status just by getting a win off of any one of them. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So like, and that's all singles. They had singles and tag team inside that one. So you feel me? If they can have a faction that every single one in the faction is a hitter, they gonna do that. They need it right now. We don't got a lot of people, and that's gonna open up way more stories. So Bobby Lashley's opponent is either gonna be Drew McIntyre. Somehow he retains that fast lane, and it becomes Drew McIntyre, or loses that fast lane, and then once Drew McIntyre like win, we see who the WWE challenger is. So the champion going to be either Drew or Bobby, but the challenger is either going to be Drew or a mystery. That's what I'm going at. What you think?
Personally, shout out to Bobby Lashley for winning the WWE Championship. Long time, way overdue. Shout out to MVP. I think he needs to be in that GOAT status talk now, but as far as managers go, against Paul Heyman, But to answer your question, I think Bobby Lashley WrestleMania opponent will be Brock Lesnar. Now, this is why I say this. I had Lashley winning the title at WrestleMania. Obviously, that didn't happen, but the next person I had him beefing with after he won the title, Brock Lesnar. Now, I know Vince already said all of these matches for the championship, they got to be must-see. Must-see TV, Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar.
That's true.
I actually think Drew versus Sheamus is good enough. I'm going to want to see that. Most people going to want to see that. Bobby Lashley walks into WrestleMania, WWE champion, walks out of WrestleMania, WWE champion. After the Hurt Business jumps the hell out of Brock Lesnar. But I can't be Brock. No, Heyman, right?
That's the only reason why I'm doubting it. Because how is that going to happen?
Covered his belt. It's got to be McIntyre.
Hey, that's it.
Oh man, maybe they'll hit us with something crazy though.
Either McIntyre or surprise fighter, bro.
You think they bring Brock back and have Heyman on both shows?
I was thinking they could do that. Why not? He a manager. Managers could be wherever they, you know what I'm saying? Wherever the superstar they manage is.
Fair enough. Paul is going to actually try to be the advocate for 2 reigning, defending, undisputed WWE champion and the Universal champion. Not only will he be the advocate for the head of the table, he will be the advocate for the Beast incarnate. He would run both shows, at least up until WrestleMania, where I see Brock Lesnar taking that L. He loses to to Bobby. I give Bobby the win. Now, that's rough to say because Brock my boy, and I feel like Brock is destroying probably anybody in WWE. If he returns at WrestleMania, it's crazy. But I have to give this one to Bobby. I feel like what better time than WrestleMania to give us Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. MVP versus Paul Heyman on the mic.
That would be good. I got one. Because to follow that up, Bobby takes the belt, right? Roman's still the Universal Champion, right? Brock Lesnar's under Paul Heyman, Roman under Paul Heyman. They start beefing because that's the first time Brock has lost since he's come back demanding a title. He said, "Joe, when you was just my manager, this ain't never happened. So we gonna have to figure this out because I don't care about the head of the table or nothing." So now you got Roman Reigns and Uso versus Brock. And that's going to be flames.
That would be really good. You ain't going to. Boy. Ooh, that would be good.
And that's main event Uso. We all tuned in for that. That would be fire.
Yeah, that'd be a very good match. I would definitely like to watch that. If they can make that for SummerSlam, but then Roman got to drop that. They about to let Brock lose. back. Papers like big name pay-per-views. He'll lose. Yeah, he'll lose his mistake if you would.
But if you look at what Roman been doing, there's never been a time to make us believe it's possible.
True. You know what? If Roman was going to lose, Brock seemed like the person to do it. So
that's probably the only person we would accept to do it. So yeah.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. My name's Curry.
I'm All
right, go ahead and like and subscribe. And if you guys have any theories, go ahead and let us know in the comments.